Kilo Whiskey 5, Delta Romeo Echo, and today I'm coming to you because I want to tell you about this here. Raise it over my head a little. This DBX. Let me get it right with the camera. So hard to do it with a camera. All right, let me see here. Let me get it right. It's so crooked. It's hard to tell because I'm not looking at it like, all right, so forget it. I'm coming to you for about this DBX 286. This baby right here. All right, this baby right here. This DBX 286, it does wonders, man. I'm going to explain all that it does. I use it for podcasting. I'm using it right now for podcasting. And I wanted to kind of introduce it to those who do, who, of course, you do ham radio because you're listening now and you're watching now. But if you do ham radio and you want a better voice output, you want to manipulate your voice and enhance it a little bit, this might work for you. This DBX might work for you because it does a lot. It does a lot. This little thing right here, it does a lot, and I really like it. Very reasonably priced too. So I'm gonna go through what this does, but I'll tell you, this thing, it does wonders. I like it. So I'm going to explain to you what it does. And I know I keep saying that, but I really like this thing. So I'm not going to keep you any longer. I keep saying the same old thing. I keep repeating myself. That's how I know I got to start doing it. All right, so let's get into this DBX 286. It works really good for podcasting. And I want somebody, if somebody tried, if you could try it for ham radio, try it. I guarantee you it'll get you some good results. So let's go to it. Let me explain what this thing does. Okay, so we're going to talk about the DBX 286S mic preamp processor. And as I stated before, if I didn't, I'm sure I did. This can benefit you in two different ways. If you are talking on the radio and you want a better voice, better, I'm not going to say audio signal, but just better voice. This will do it for you. It's just a matter of connecting it up. There might be some challenges with it. It may not be, depending on your radio and depending on how it's connected. It has a lot of variables. So it shouldn't be too hard. And the other benefit for this is if let's just say you are a ham and you go live on Facebook like I do and do shows on YouTube and things of that nature, like Kilowatts and Bourbon. He does live QSOs. Big up to Kilowatts and Bourbon, my man. Hey, so look, if you do that, then this can help you too, because it enhances your voice and it does a lot of things. And when I finish with explaining all of this, you'll know what I'm talking about. It does a lot, especially if you're on YouTube and you got background noise. It'll take out that background noise with no issues or concerns. All right, so let's get started. All right, so we're going to start with the mic preamp gain. This just allows you to control the gain when you're talking to the mic. This will allow you to control the gain from the microphone. I usually set mine at about, and it depends because I usually set mine about at 20, around 20. That's only because I have a cloud lifter. If you're just using this straight to your mic without a cloud lifter, some people put it on 45, some people set it at 60. Cloud lifter just boosts the gain. A cloud lifter is like an amplifier. The amplifier, you can keep the radio power low while your amplifier boosts it up to make it seem like your power is higher. A cloud lifter does the same thing, and a cloud lifter will it'll boost your gain, even though your audio signal is low. Your gain, let's just say if I put that gain at 15, the cloud lifter will make it seem like that gain is all the way up to about 60 minus the floor noise. So that's what a cloud lifter does. But for these settings, this gain setting here, I like to put mine at around 22, around between 20 and 22, and it controls the gain that comes that starts the process of this processor. This level here is just it's a level that tells you if you're clipping or not. I like to stay within the green. If you have a little flash in the yellow a little bit, because you might get excited and start talking louder like this, or just get excited like that, then you might see that you might see a little touch of that yellow light up, and that's okay. That's perfectly fine. Two solid greens and a slight of that yellow is perfectly fine. It means you're doing great. Now the phantom power, I was about to say phantom powder. The phantom power, you'll need this for a condenser mic. So if you have a condenser mic, you're gonna need 48 volts of phantom power. If you have a regular dynamic mic, then you're gonna turn that off. It's best to turn the phantom power off by depressing the button. Like I said before, I have a cloud lifter, and that cloud lifter, I meant to tell you, it's in between the mic and the mic preamp. So there's a cable XRL connection, or XLR, whatever, connection between the mic and the cloud lifter, and then to the mic preamp. The cloud lifter needs 48 volts of power, so that's why I keep mine on. But if you have a dynamic mic, you don't need to put on the 48 volts of phantom power. You can just go ahead and just plug it directly. You can turn this off. If you have a condenser mic, you probably have to keep this on. You will have to keep this on. All right. Now the 80 hertz high pass filter. Now this filter enables and disables like a filter. It rolls off all frequencies below 80 hertz. I think this is basically used for instruments and music, because as far as voice, I would disable this, because the human voice typically does not have any frequencies below 80 hertz. So you could probably turn this off, because like I said, the human voice, anything under 80 hertz is rare, but you're not going to hear anything with the human voice under 80 hertz. But this does help minimize plosives, though. If you put that on there, it will minimize the plosives, anything that starts with the P's, the popcorn, and all of that stuff. So it does help, but I usually keep that off, just because, the voice doesn't have anything under 80 hertz. Now, the bypass. Now, the bypass is this will turn off all the effects from where it starts here. And I didn't go through all of the effects yet, but I'm going to go through them. But I'm going to tell you now, the bypass, if you set all your effects and your settings, this bypass button, if you turn it on, it'll just bypass all of everything you set. So basically, it'll turn off the effects from here on out, from the bypass all the way down. So if you want, if you just want to use the preamp, if this DBX 286, you can enable the bypass. So that means you're just using the processor, the amp processor. All right, so let's go to the compressor. Now, this compressor consists of the drive and the density. The compressor, the drive. Let's go with the drive. The drive controls the threshold of the compressor, meaning it lets the level of it sets the level of when the compressor is going to kick in. Okay, so basically, how can I explain this? It's like, it's hard to explain. But it like I said, it kicks it. If you want something set, like let's just say if you want the heat, let's say your heat, okay? You have your heat set at 70 degrees in your house. When you set that button past, let's see if you set it to 70. Let's just say you set it to 70. When it's 69 in your house and then it gets up to 70, the air will kick on. Let's just say, I think I'm doing that right with the air. So if it's 69 in your house, right? And you set the air condition to come on if it gets 70 or above. So soon as when it's 69 in your house, 69 degrees, and the temperature goes up to 70, the air is going to kick on just to keep it at 69. So that's what this is. This drive does. The drive controls the threshold of the compressor. So it sets the level of it tells when the compressor is going to kick in. Now the density, let's go with the density here. The density excuse me, the density controls the releasing of the compressor, meaning how long it takes the compressor to stop compressing your voice or your audio signal once it falls below that threshold. So basically, when you set that threshold, it's going to kick in. It's a little. I can't use the same example for air because it's different. But when that release kicks in, it's going to compress. But there's a time limit on how long it takes to compress, and you set that with the density. That make any sense? I hope that makes sense. All right. The gain reduction. So let's just say I'm talking real loud. That compression is bringing my my audio signal down. When that compression brings it down because I'm talking too loud, this gain reduction will tell you how many decibels is bringing it down. So if I talk super loud, the gain reduction the 3 may be lit up, the 3, the 6, the 9, the 12, and the 15 may be lit up, meaning it's reducing almost 15 decibels of gain because you might be talking too loud or whatever it may be. All right, so that's what the gain reduction that meter tells you. It just tells you how much gain is being reduced and compressed down. All right. Now the de-esser, I don't really get down with the de-esser like that. The de-esser, I don't really have audio. My audio, when I mention words with the letter S, it really doesn't have that sound. So if you have a mic that every time you have if you have a mic where every time you mention anything with the word S, like that sound will really come out, and it can really be annoying, especially on ham radio or just podcasting in general. This de-esser will it'll reduce that. So the frequency of this de-esser, so if that, depending on how loud the S is. So if I go it may be 4K. You see where it says 4K right there? It may get up to that point. So if you set it at that means when it gets to that 4K up there from your S's, that's when the threshold will kick in. Okay, so that threshold will say, hey, look, when it gets to that 4K over there, when that sound gets to the 4K, I want you to take it down a little bit, and that's what that threshold is. It's just telling you how much you're going to take it down, and how I can't explain it. I can't explain it, but I hope I'm doing a good job with explaining it as best as I can. So once you set that, the threshold will kick in, and then it'll start working where it'll take down that S in the signal, the sound. It'll take out that S and make it a little bit less harsh. All right. That's what the threshold does. I just explained it. All right. So this is my favorite part about this DBX 286. It's my absolute favorite. It has right here it says enhancer. So basically it enhances your voice. So it has the low filter detail and the high filter detail. All right. So the low frequency detail, that'll boost the bass in your voice and give your voice some warmth, like it's real smooth. It's like a real smooth, like radio. This is like that. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna let you hear it now. Let me just move my mic, and I'm gonna let you hear how it works. All right, so let me find my de-esser on mine. All right, so I'm gonna count to 10, and you're gonna hear the difference. I'm gonna count to 10. When I get to 5, that's when you're gonna start hearing the me kicking the low frequency in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You see how my voice is real? It's the low frequency is kicked in. I got it kicked in right now, and then I'm going to move it right back to where it was before. So you got You got the low frequency 123. I'm gonna turn it up 123, and you can see the difference right there. And then you got the high frequency, which gives you some of the highs. So if it's too bassy, then you'll hear the clarity. It'll boost the highs. So watch this. Right now it's on the let's see, I got it. Let's see. Let me make sure I got this set right. Okay, so now I'm gonna go to the highs. I'm gonna count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You see how clear it is? That's what those high frequencies do. It makes it real clear. I'm gonna take it back down. Okay, so I took it back down. Now I'm gonna take it all the way back up. That's what these high frequencies do here. All right. So that's what the low frequency does, and high frequency gives you the real high, clear clarity in the audio. Okay, so I really like these two. They really they work for me. These two right here really the enhancer, the low frequency detail and the high frequency detail. Very, very good for me. I always use it. I that's why I bought it, to be honest with you. I think I bought it because of that, and because of the next one here, the expander and the gate. There's a difference between the two. This thing will the gate. It kind of lowers the noise floor of your signal, and that's podcasters love that, and I'm sure hams who use this for their radio, they'll love it too. It kind of lowers the noise floor of your signal. And to do that, it's controlled by the threshold and the ratio. So for the threshold, okay, if the audio falls below, you set that. So if the audio falls below the threshold, if the signal falls below the threshold, the audio will be attenuated by the gate. Okay. As far as the ratio, that determines the ratio pretty much determines how your audio signal attenuated when the audio is closed. Okay. So let me just say this. I'm going to go back to the threshold here. Did I go back? Oh, let me go to the threshold. All right. So now I'm going to explain this the way I see it. Okay. I'll give you a live example. The threshold, you set this to eliminate noise from the any floor noise. So let's just say if I had the air on right now, which the air was on, you don't hear that fan, that noise, because that's not the setting I have right now in this picture, but I have it set about 30, minus 30. That'll take away background noise. So like without this, if I don't have this set, when a plane flies over my house, you'll pretty much hear it. When the air comes on in my house, you'll hear it. When my wife and my kids are in there laughing and screaming loud, you'll hear it because the mic will pick it up. But if I have this threshold here, it'll take so the background noise of all those things that I mentioned is not as loud as my voice. Let's just say my voice is at negative 15 decibels. So I'm just using this as an example. If my voice is at negative 15 decibel, anything under, and I set the threshold for negative 15, anything under negative 15 you won't hear it because the ratio will take it out. It'll take out that noise, any type of background noise. So basically, my voice will be the only thing heard. It's because, when the fan and the air comes on and all that stuff, it's not as loud as me talking. Okay. So whatever audio signal that is, it'll definitely be under negative 15, which means the threshold will kick in and the ratio the noise will just be diminished. All right. So the ratio over here, that will, for me, I have it set around 2-to-1, and that'll just take out that background noise. It won't do it as harsh. It'll take those lower frequencies of that background noise. It'll pretty much take the background noise and lower the gain of the background noise in a very smooth way, as opposed to a noise gate. Some of you may have heard of a noise gate. A noise gate is a little different. It just cuts it completely. So like if there's some fan noise if there's some fan noise while I'm talking, um, it'll just if I'm talking and and you have a noise gate and the fan is on, as soon as I stop talking, you won't hear anything, right? You won't hear the fan, you won't hear me. But as soon as I start talking again, you'll hear the fan noise again, and it sounds real harsh. It's just like I'm talking, like it'll sound like this. I'm gonna beat on the desk. All right. So if I'm talking, it'll beat on the desk like this, like this, like this, like this. If I stop, then I go again. It's like this. Then I stop, go, stop. That's what a noise gate sounds like. Now, if I do that with using this expander, it doesn't do that. It'll be more like I'm talking, you'll hear it, and then it just kind of lowers that frequency and that noise. Not as harsh. It does it in a smooth way, so it doesn't be. It's like it ain't just cutthroat. Turn it off, and then when you talk, turn it on. You'll hear that with a lot of podcasters. They have that noise gate up too high. So when they're talking, you hear a whole bunch of noise while they're talking, and then when they stop, everything stops, just like that. And that's annoying. It's real annoying. So that's what that expander does. And the threshold, the threshold will set it at whatever limit you want anything cut off. For me, let's just say my voice is at -15. Anything under -15. That threshold will kick in. The ratio will take all of that noise under me down. All right. So that's what this does. That's why I love this thing. It works real good. All right. And the last thing here on the DBX 286S is the output gain. So after all the processing and all of that stuff that it went through, all those channels we just explained, you set your output gain. I usually keep mine at 0. Actually, I usually keep it around 10, -10. And that's what I'm using now. So if you like my audio, that's what I'm using. I'm using the DBX 286 S. So once you get to the end, you'll set your gain, and then that gain goes into my Focusrite 18i8. And then that goes into my computer, which gives me the gain and gives you the audio signal that you're hearing now. So that's it all in a nutshell for the DBX 286. Let me give you a whole shot of how it looks. So this is how it looks right here. If you look at it, that bypass button right there, it's the in between the mic preamp and the compressor. If I hit that button and turn it on, everything after that won't even be effective because I turned it off. So the compressor won't kick in, the de-esser, the enhancer, the expander gate won't kick in, and it'll just be the mic preamp and the output. All right. So that's it in a nutshell. And if you want this, I strongly suggest it. It's not too expensive. So if you want it, I'll try to leave a link for it. I'm not an affiliate, so I don't get money for it. I just like telling people about good products. So buy it if you want. I like it. It works for me, and I'm gonna continue to use it. So if you buy it, let me know. I want to know what you think of it. All right. So that's going to be it for me. I hope this information and this video was helpful for you. Like I said, if you get the DBX 286, give it a try. Let me know what you think of it. It's definitely good for podcasters. But if you're a ham, which you probably are if you're watching this, try it on your radio. I think it'll give you some good results. Definitely give you a better voice. Allow you to manipulate your voice a little bit for a better audio output. All right. Kilo Whiskey 5, Delta Romeo Echo, and I am clear. 73. Peace.